안녕하세요, 여러분. Alright, so last time, you guys already know I was trying to figure out this whole oil problem, and hopefully today we can finally figure it all out. So we got new lines, new adapters, and we just put back my old oil pump, and I don't know, man. Maybe I primed this thing wrong once again, and oh shoot, I almost dropped this. But you know, this does have a little bit of play, which I don't know if that's out of the ordinary for this style pump, but having no oil was also another big issue. But it's okay. Sorry, let me just, I had some oil on me. But now we put back the other pump. As a disclaimer, I did use a different silicone, one of those super universal fast dryer types, because at the time, you guys remember in the previous video, I was trying to knock this out that night, and it was just not gonna work out because I still had to pack for the enthusiast showcase. It was just not gonna work out. But now I have time to actually. So thankfully, we did all the hard part, right? We did already the oil pumps in there, the pans on there. Hopefully this is literally the last time I have to do this. But now what we're going to do next is pretty much do the timing one more time. And then we're going to put this new kit on, which I'm really, really excited about, because that's like, in my mind, that has to be like the only other issue. Literally the only other issue, you know? So we're starting back to square one after going through all this. But you know what, man? This is that reality I was telling everyone the other day. Sometimes you just overthink and it just takes control. And I'll be honest, I feel like I'm at a point now where I'm kind of like, you know, oh, I'm kind of past that stage, but this one got me. But this was a unique situation. So, but now we're going to go back to what we know. We're going to go back to those AN lines. Oh, sorry, I'm just kind of like, literally, like, I'm like, dude, if this doesn't fix the problem, I genuinely don't know what else it could be. I really don't. And also, too, I really hope I didn't damage the motor either. The only thing I'm grateful about is that we had the motor running with oil, so we kind of cranked it over a couple of times with no oil on it, so, but we should be okay. Thank God I didn't start it. Oh, that would have, I knew my instincts was right. Like, that's the one thing I'm glad I really didn't do. If I tried to start it, oh, it would have been game over. So hopefully we can start tonight. If the oil pressure is good, I'm going to start her tonight. And this time, we actually have two gauges that we're going to use, two oil pressure gauges, just as a continuity too as well, because I know that Grady block adapter is fine, just in case. But let's just go back to it. So actually, this has been a couple of days actually after the showcase, and I took yesterday off because I felt so fatigued. I was definitely feeling the yeah, like I said, the fatigue. It was definitely, I was overworking myself. I know I've said this before, but I'm gonna say it again. I really underestimated building a couple of cars and having to, you know, travel. Thankfully, like I said, we got the traveling all done out of the way, thank God. Because if I still had to travel, like, when I say travel, like travel, oh God, dude, I don't think I can handle it. Like, just because I'm already doing so much stuff right now, and I really want to start knocking stuff off back home, like the charger. I'm very happy where the charger's at right now. Actually, I'm very, very happy because we're at a point now where, hold on, get some tools. Okay, hopefully I have the right one. Yes. But yeah, I just been in real time while recording this video. I just been very fatigued, to be honest, and that's just the price of, you know, doing full-time content creation and having to build, and, you know, just trying to keep up with everything. And that's without having to do like external stuff that I have to do, you know, like we still have to work on my truck, all that jazz. And honestly, you hear it time and time again, but stuff like this, you know, you really need to be really, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? You need to be really tolerant to it. And then, but also remember, you need to remember why you're doing it, and also like, hey, you gotta take care of yourself, which is why I took yesterday's day off. You know, I didn't do any editing. You know, I just stayed home, played League, or just ate some snacks, just did regular stuff. Because people know that, you know, when you're doing this thing full time, sometimes there is no, like, you just can't shut off, you know? So, hold on, let me try to get this in here first. Come on. Ah, yes. My favorite part of doing timing on an RB is getting the timing belt. For some reason, my finger hurts right here, so until like, how, like, come on. Maybe I could do it like this way. Yep, do like this. Get this in here first, and then I've retimed this car like so many times now. And we just match it up like right, like so. Come on. Come on, y'all, just come on. This guy's off a little bit. I don't know why it's difficult this time. Okay. Oh yes, once again it is hot. It's in here. It's pretty hot. Okay, hold on. Timing is good up there. Timing is good up there. Wow. This was never annoying the last time. I say that, and then in actuality, it was actually annoying. Okay, fine, good. Okay. Now I think the toughest part is actually, hold on. Okay. Okay, and then timing is there. Go down here. Come on, cool, good. Timing is good. Okay. Why is this part of the timing belt is so tedious for some reason? It was never this bad before. I said. Oh, at this point, I'm gonna have to time lapse this video too because it's becoming. Oh, here we go. This is it. All right, we got it in here. Okay, back a little bit. Cool. We are in. Come on. Why is this timing belt in? But why is this? Come on, in there. Yep. God, that was annoying. Generally, that was actually really annoying. Like, that should never. This part is always like the tight end. So you just gotta make sure you're doing it right. And then that's like what, 14? So I have to go grab 14 wrench. There you go. There's the proper timing. All right. Now, I know most people, they like to kind of. I know some people have different ways of like determining tightness, but I like to just push a little bit and then right around there. That's perfect. So yeah, no, but it's been a hot minute since by the time I'm gonna make this video. But how I feel right now, I'm very happy we're not traveling. Going back to that topic, sorry, but I think it's just because, like I said, I really want to get stuff done here, and also too, like I'm starting to really realize as a person, you know. I've known this as a person, like I'm not a big multitasker. You know, I can't do too many things at once. You know, even when you have to force me to do it, it is such a struggle and it's such a pain in the butt. But the thing is with me right now is like, but once I'm like I said, I'm the type, you know, when I do focus on something, you know, and then I'm on a roll, like that's where I like to be. I like to be on a roll. I like to have a routine. I stick with it. And especially if it's like something like this where I'm doing a build and I know I have to get it done, I really rather just see it all the way through, which is why I felt really good when I left to Puerto Rico for the second time when we finally got the engine fully built, put back together, and then we dropped it in, then I went to Puerto Rico. It's very rewarding, you know, when you get stuff done and then you could kind of like enjoy that next big step because then you don't feel like you're as behind. But for me recently, you know, sorry, I was like going on a quick tangent right there, but recently for me, I just really just want to just get stuff done around here. I love traveling, but you know, I can't travel and then jump back into this because then it takes me a while to kind of like, you know, chuggle along and get back into it. And that's one of the things I didn't really realize as much because like you guys remember last year with the Pink 240 and this build, you know, I didn't get too much of a chance to get a lot of stuff done due to like low budget. So now, hold on. Oh, here's an 8. I was like, where's my 8 at? Sorry, I'm like on a I'm going on a tangent right now. I'm like full of caffeine. I have no idea what I'm saying. But right now, I just, you know, like I said, I just want to get stuff done here. So I'm kind of happy we're not traveling for a while, you know? Like I said, it's already August, and you know, I really want to be out there driving. If I could get this car on its own, if I could get this car moving on its own power, maybe in less than 2 weeks, you know, like it brakes, drives, I'll be very happy. But yeah, you know, do I feel? Ooh, scared when I make noise. Do I feel behind? You know, I think that's like a really common question you hear with people. Like, do you ever feel behind? I don't feel like I feel behind in terms of like, oh, like compared to everybody else, because everyone's doing their own thing. I know for a fact for me though, I do feel, I feel a little bit behind. It's a little bit, not enough to go crazy about. But it's definitely, I definitely feel myself like ready to get this thing out. So we gotta have fun. I think that's what it really is. You know, I'm learning, oh shoot. I'm learning new experiences all the time, you know, and then I always like kind of documenting how I feel and then like where, like, you know, would I want to do this next year, like in terms of like the same thing we did this year, or, you know, or is this part of the stepping stone? Like there's so much planning that goes into it. And for me for my personal like agenda, you know, I like where I'm going. You know, I like it. I think times like this when you're just alone and doing your own thing, you know, or even if you had a crew, like you're just kind of just like, you know, it's one of those things, you're just in the motions. You go through a lot of decision making in your head, and then you just hope, all you hope for is that you make the right decisions. And there's some stuff that you're dreading to do, like I really don't want to do my truck. I really just want to just get it over with. But man, it's annoying. But also too, like around this time, a lot of people feel fatigued, especially like if you're a racer or you're like a very, very heavy content creator. Around this time is where everyone starts to feel the fatigue now, you know. But I think that's a great indicator though. Like it shows you like, hey, like you're almost like at your mental limit, you know, because everyone has a reset, right? You have a reset, you know, you need a couple days off, whatever. But there's times where like there's probably people right now watching, like they got so much to do every single day, and it's just like, and this is beyond content creation, like your work, you know, or stuff at home. You just feel like you can't catch a break. And that's the issue. It's like, where do you draw the line at, you know, where things that you have to do and things that you want to do, you know? And like that sucks, because sometimes things that you want to do, right, it requires a lot of stuff that you have to, which sometimes you don't like it. And it's one of those things. It's like, you know, anytime I feel stressed out, anytime where I feel like I have a lot of like my mind and it's really pushing me into a box, what I like to do is I always try to like just step back a little bit and look at for things for what they are. Like right now, like I have my charger bill, like it ran, like it's like we're really close of it being for what it is compared to last year. And sometimes like you get so lost on living your life, but you forget how to live, you know, and enjoy it. Never mind, I'm just talking BS. I try to sound so smart right there, but no, I truly, everybody needs to just take time for themselves. Mental health is very important, but it's also too, you need to know when to identify that. You need to know when times that, hey, you need to be there to push, but it's also times where you need to just sit back and see how far you've came through, you know? And that's victory on itself. I feel like a lot of people are really hard on themselves just because they know they could do more. But just because you could do more doesn't mean you have to do. Because at the end of the day, what's the whole point of doing something when you lose your purpose or you're so fatigued that you burn out? Like, what's the whole point of that? You know? People always think about the end of the destination, but if you don't take care of yourself through the journey, then is it really worth all the sacrifice you've made? No. And sometimes like things just don't work out either, and that's okay. That's why, like, and that's the thing too, like, and you know, never not shoot your shot. Always aim for the sky, you know? Aim for as high as you can, and if things didn't work out, hey, guess what? At least you did it. And if you get a second opportunity to do it again, dude, now you know what to do, where your limitation was before, and you could do it again. But you only could do that so many times. You only could do it so many times until someone loses true passion and the drive to it. It's like making friends. You only can make friends for so long, to the point it becomes like there's no point to it. Like you become dead in it. I sound so smart, but watch I read this recording and be like, man, what are you talking about? I totally lost I lost the bolt for this cam sensor, so I'm just using this random bolt. See if it fits. Does it fit? Hold on. Does it fit? Oh, I don't. No, it's not gonna fit. But yeah, no, it's just like what am I trying to say? I think what I'm trying to say is that aim for the best, but don't forget to look back where you were. You know, and it just seems so easy to do that, but in reality, a lot of times people forget. People forget to take care of themselves. People don't know how to take care of themselves, you know, because you're so in survival mode all the time, you know, and there's times where you're such in survival mode that you can't turn it off, and that in itself is dangerous. You can't think clearly anymore. A lot of things feels purposeless, and there's probably times where people really thought very, very negative thoughts of themselves because they're always stuck in survival mode. And what really sucks is that, you know, sometimes you can't get out of it because you have to be. You know, it's just you have to make sacrifices all the time. And some people are tired. Some people are very tired to make sacrifices. And that's where like that line really comes into play. Like the saying goes, you can't judge a book by its cover, right? But there's a reason why there's a cover. So it's like a gray area. Like nowadays I don't really judge. Like if someone was going through a bad day or yelling at the track, for example, and you know, let's say they're acting like a, you know, not a really nice guy, but you know, I can't go up to him and thinking I know what he's going through. No. That's why, like, when you look at life that way, it's a very neutral, heavy ground, which is a good thing. You feel planted, but at the same time, too, you need to be very careful, because then from that perspective, you start to lose identity of like what has purpose, what has, the draw that makes you who you are as a person. Like being professional and unprofessional. Like where do you draw the line at? Where do you do with people, or corporations and stuff like that. I think that's a life skill that you have to live through. And it sucks because it's very painful. It's very draining. I mean, just being an adult is draining. Like half you guys watching this video is probably drained. Oh my God, dude, that's... You're probably watching this video, man, Cho, you don't stop talking. I'm trying to not think about my own problems. But that's the thing, like embracing that and acknowledging that is so important. It keeps you stable as a person. Knowing what to do when you're stressed out, knowing like what should you like invest in. Do you invest in with family or your significant other, playing video games, playing League of Legends and feeding the You're like 0-11. People are like, yo, report him, report him. Oh my God, that's not me, by the way. No, I'm usually at least like 5-4, at least midway, half the game. Then we surrender. But no, for me, how I deal with a lot of things is that I let it burn through my head. Like if I'm going through a situation that maybe I'm not super happy about, I let it burn through my head for a while. Just stay quiet to myself and just kind of like go through the emotional conversations that I have with this situation. Go through it. Maybe at about 30 minutes, I'm all good. Because then I come back to reality thinking that, hey, you know what? That's just part of life. Things just might not work out, but things might not be as bad as it really is. Because sometimes when when like a lot of people, when their pride gets hurt or they're feeling like something's bad happening to them, they don't, and this might be weird to say because like it seems so normal to me, but they don't identify it objectively because they're so emotionally heavy. And especially if you're in this industry, for example, sometimes emotions is a weapon, and it's a double-edged sword. If I could give advice to people, never ever in any circumstances like crash out or show your emotions when you're feeling the most heavy, because nothing good comes out of it. If you are gonna get something bad happen to you, take it, swallow it with pride, and just move on. And it sucks, but at the end of the day, like you need to know that being self-destructive like that does more bad damage to you in your long run. And why would you do that? Why would you work so hard just to destroy it? And that's what's challenging in life. And you don't even have to apply this to content creation, just like any job. Like, are you gonna lash out at your boss because your pride got hurt? But the thing is that you might potentially get fired, or or like you get less work. Like that's the dark reality, And it goes for anything. But you have to look at the big picture. You deal with that for a while, you get promoted, or it might lead you to a better job. And same thing for this. Like, if things don't work out for you, but hey, if you just took that and, you say it is what it is, and you put it in good terms, and you move forward from there, that might help you out. Made in USA. But no, I love going through some of these like tangent thoughts in my head because it's so relevant in everyone's life, and it feels good. I always tell people it's good to talk about it. I mean, talk to the right people about it. Don't go online and just talk about it. But just if you put your business out there, it's everyone's business. That's just oh my God. But no, anyways, we got the whole timing done. Okay, all right, now we finally got that done. We are going to work on, where is my stuff? Where is everything? Is it in here? No. Uh-oh, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where are my new stuff is at. Question. Generally, where did it go? Oh, there it is. Oh my God, for a second there, I thought I lost and got rid of all my new stuff. Okay, all right. Huge shout out, like I said, to Red Horse. They're the ones that hooked your boy up with all these brand new lines. This is actually a same block adapter. This is actually the one for the STI, but I brought it along just because we need to know what thread sizes were. So pretty much this should solve my problem. Oh, I just realized something. The filter is actually back at the other storage unit, because I was wondering where it went. It's not here. And guess why it's not here? Because it's at the other stuff. I knew. All right, hold on. Let me come right back. Go grab it. God damn. Man, we're out of drinks? Nah, we're not doing that here. Where is my... All right, I got my stuff, but I ran out of something to drink, so I'm gonna pull out this bad boy. Yeah. There's a combination of energy drinks and emergencies, probably liquid IV somewhere in there, somewhere. And then we're gonna top it off with a cold Alani. Not sponsored, by the way, but if you want to, I mean, you can always, you know, send me some couple of cases and a contract. That'd be great. There you go, top it off. You guys already know I'm a big bevy person, so this is not a surprise to some of you guys. But yeah, I was thirsty. Found this thing. The lifeblood. Okay, so you guys remember this is what I was talking about, and we don't need this for now. I should be wearing gloves because this thing is very oily. I'm getting so, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, yeah, like I said earlier, I'm getting so sick of having to do this like a million times. I probably should grab it off the block adapter, actually, now I think about it, because then I'm not using that one, so let me go do that right now. Let me just grab that real quick. 10 mil should be somewhere here. Right here. Yep, here's a 10 mil. Yeah, I lost my 10 mil wrench somewhere, like when I was cleaning, because I had my tools all over this place at one point today or a while back. So I was just like, okay. I'm like, sure, great. Hey, at least the one good thing is that because this didn't had any oil running for the last test, it doesn't drip. Never mind, I lied. It's dripping. She dripping. Okay, was it a 12? I think it was a 12, right? To break these guys loose. Yes, it was, but I don't have the right one. There you go. I need a little bit more leverage. Ugh. Come on. Where is it? Yep, there you go. Okay, 1, 2. Actually, why am I pulling it off of this? Yeah, why am I pulling it off of this thing? I could just, yeah, what the heck? Yeah, why am I, yeah, I don't have to pull this thing out. Yeah, I could just take the sockets out. Silly goose. That's what I need to be doing. The way there's so many vacuum lines everywhere, so I don't even know which goes where anymore. So I'm just picking the most random ones. Be like, yeah, this one looks fine. Or this one looks fine. Yeah, I'll pick this one. We'll use this one. And then we'll just throw it in there where you let. Yeah, I was like, why am I taking this thing out for? I'm like, silly question. There you go. Yeah, that makes so much easier. That makes a lot more sense. All right, now my Allen wrenches. Actually, those are kind of big. So, I wonder. I'm hoping maybe I could just grab it off by the socket. Yeah. Oh yeah, that should give me plenty of room. Okay. Yeah. I say should give me plenty of room, but there's so many wires down here and so many other stuff. Come on. She doesn't want to go. There you go. Nice and loose. This other one. Where's the... There you go. Okay. I just had to break them loose. And I could just... Oh. I thought I got them. No? Oh, now they're... Okay. Maybe I just had to turn them up a little bit more. There you go. And we got brand new seals for all of them, so we just gotta throw them in there. That's nice. Let me do that first. These are brand new ones. And then we just toss these guys in there. Oh, yeah. Oily. Favorite. And then I don't know if these are they're gonna be the same size or not, but try. They might be smaller. Oh, no, they work. Okay. I got a good little hand tight on them, and then we'll crank it down just like a little bit. Ooh! Oh, shoot. Okay. There's a lot of wires here. First of all, that's the fuel pump harness. That should be not back here, up front here anymore, so cool. Alright, so that's done. We don't have to worry about that. Next, we worry about this bad boy. I am going to put a bigger filter just because, you know, there's no need to put a small filter like this, but it was the only thing I had available. Oh, my gosh. Come on. Oh, holy cow, how tight did I make you in here? Jesus. Didn't have to be that tight. Okay, cool. Next one. Okay, this one's not too bad. Alright. So all we gotta do now, really, is just put all this new stuff together. So these are all the old stuff. We don't need these. These are too big. This is the new stuff. Okay. And then we just sort this one back in here. Oh, dude, I can feel it. This is perfect. Okay. And tighten that there. Okay. Nice and locked in. This is the other side. Dude, this is going to be perfect. All right. Now, this side, and I don't know why I didn't think of this earlier, but since when I was at Red Horse, you guys remember, I wanted to grab this. This is a block with a NPT on the side. And the reason why I want that is because of this reason. We're just going to throw this thing in here for now. Ooh, this thing a big boy. This is a big boy one. Hold on. Let me figure out what size is this. Okay. It is a pretty large big boy. All right, I got it hand tight, and then with the socket, just kind of just throw this like this. Okay, so we have this right here. Because what we could do now is put our oil temp sensor. Voila. Now we have a temperature reading. That is awesome. So that's one of the benefits of this specific one. You could benefit and use the other ports when you're personally not using them. What is this, a 12? It's not a 10. It's a 12. That's why I have the van out here. Makes things easier to go back and forth. Okay. All right. Cool. Bingo. And the best part is I believe everything's hooked up there. So all we just got to do is just hook up this and then we're good. All right. That's fine. That is beautiful. So now this bad boy is ready. I will kind of spray it down a little bit just because it's a little bit oily. I would prefer not to be as oily. Ooh. All right. All right. Grab our parts cleaner. Clean this bad boy out. Cool. And I did say I was going to mount it just because it'd be easier to handle with. So for now, that's just a bit too short. Womp womp. I do want to mount it like somewhere like right here. Somewhere it's like a little bit more convenient. Dude, that would have been perfect. Dude. Oh, we're just a little off, dude. Oh, it would have been so perfect right there. Like these two studs were just like, it was just right there. It's okay. For now, I think I'm just gonna do is, like I said, just create a little point here. Maybe I could do it like this, or can I do it like this? There you go. We'll do it like this. We'll do it like that. Nah. All right, we can't do it either way. All right. Don't want to just drill a hole, but I think our best chance is just to kind of just zap it right there, and then I could probably just, you know what? I'm just going to zap it. Yeah, I'm just gonna zap it for now. Just for now. I promise we'll put an actual better one. That was like a what, 12, I think? So I'm just gonna zap it towards that just to kind of get a holding on it. Because I hate keep moving it around. So annoying. Okay. This is gonna be a temporary permanent solution. Oh, cool. Oh, it's reverse. Okay. All right. Self-tappers come in handy. Self-tapping coming up. Okay, move all the fuel systems there. Excuse me, moi. This is like literally perfect. Oh, don't even have the right socket on it. Can't do the job without the right socket. Silly goose. Oh, there goes me losing the bolts. Oh, God. Oh, I'm falling over. Yeah, when you're sweating this thing, and it just becomes like so tight on your skin. Ugh. Ugh. Especially when you have to maneuver everything. Okay, all right. Then it's like low-key kind of perfect. Wow, this thing is taking kind of forever. All right, time to go to drill. Okay, all right, where's my socket at? Normally people would be like, oh, I'll drill a little hole. Nope, I'm just gonna send it. Ooh, she is not going anywhere now. Okay, all right, that is installed. Dude, that is not going anywhere. Oh, that is not going anywhere at all. Okay. All right, so before I install everything, I'm actually going to be installing this as well. This is actually my old oil temp sensor for my pressure gauge. And I'm doing this as a safety measure just in case if for some reason the original one on the Goretti block adapter doesn't like read correctly. This is a just in case policy. Because this is like directly, oh my God, my glove is caught. That sucks. All right, okay, hold on, let me grab all this stuff here. Okay, first of all, this is all fuel related. None of this belong here anymore. All right, that does not belong here. This could honestly just go up here for now, because that was actually kind of annoying, like that. Yeah, because like, look, I just destroyed a glove for no reason. Okay, anyways, yeah, sorry about that. Maybe I should have put this a little bit further out. That looks a little too close, but we'll see. All right, so that is my insurance policy, just in case. But honestly, this should fix the problem. And funny enough, that if it works a little too good, it doesn't hurt to have two oil pressure gauges. I mean, it's weird, but hey, you never know. Oh, ooh, yep, there you go. That'll be perfect. So then now I know I have two references from the same side. Cool. All right, next, we are going to use our small one. This is our new one here. And then actually what they did, they actually put, instead of I believe the old one was still a 4590, so which is honestly great because this thing is kind of a tight bend. And we're going to just throw holy cow, you are just one loud bug, okay? Like, dude, stop causing such a racket right now. Holy cow. Okay, anyways, sorry. This sticks it out a little bit, which is great because now we could just pop it right here. Okay, cool. And then I made it, I told them to make it a little bit longer just in case. And then I realized it was a little too long, but it is what it is now. Or maybe, nah, that's fine. Yeah, okay, cool. So this is the inlet. Dude, that feels so nice. Like having, okay, go in, go out. Nice, perfect. Dude, having the thing mounted, dude, I should have done this a long time. I know, okay, I know I just got new AN tools, but I'm still used to using the, you know, the ratcheting wrench. Okay, next. I could do it either way, really. I could do it as a 45, or I could do it this, but I think what I'm gonna do is, oh, is this gonna be tight? Oh, this works out great. Or maybe, what if I do the 45? Nope, I'd rather do the 90. All right, so we're doing the 90 like this. We could always change it too, so like, yeah, so you could always change out this way. So, which might not be a bad idea, actually. Yeah, because then if we do it like this, then we could just, yeah, lay out like that, instead of having it to do it this way, like a this way setup. I mean, it doesn't really matter, really. So, I think for now, we'll just keep it like this for now. That should not be an issue. Dude, this looks sweet. It's a little bit close, but sweet. Cool. And next, what I'm actually going to throw on now, because it just makes sense to do, is this is actually, if you guys remember from the junkyard video, this is actually the lower radiator bracket. So, thankfully, the bolts are still here. Thank you, Nick, for leaving them behind. So we're going to do this because I can actually put the cooler here for now as a temporary thing, instead of having it on the ground and it's just gonna be a whole thing. So perfect. And plus it gives me an idea how much I need to work with. But I think what I'm gonna do too is I'm actually gonna have to, I really don't like how that placement is really close. I might have to redo that location actually in a minute. Oh, for a second I was just gonna be like, what? Yeah, I think there's something weird about this because I noticed that it didn't want to go on properly. I don't know. Something was like really weird about this thing. Anyways, okay, one on there, and then one. Cool. Also, I just realized is that I actually do have to switch it over because that temp sensor it's in the wrong spot. So that's why I just realized too. All right. So another thing too. Yeah, for some reason, like yeah, you need to stretch these guys out. I noticed that the junkyard when I pulled it out, I was like, man, why does it look like it's not fitting properly anymore? And that's because you have to stretch this bracket out just a bit. Right now, that's what I'm trying to do. Get it seated at least, and then throw this one in there. What's really nice too, I can actually see the bolts where they go through here. That's actually kind of clutch. Because then now, if I do break something, I could see it straight through this chassis. Cool, fantastic, nice, fantastic. All right, cool. Now we have a support for the actual cooler, so we could get in it'll be better for it. But yeah, I need to change this real quick. Yeah, I'm glad I caught that now than later. Cool, because then the temp sensor won't be reading at all. It'll be completely off. The last thing I need is stuff being off of this chassis or this build. That's the last thing I need to deal with. All right, these lines are so annoying. I need to put them underneath the car back at the fuel cell. Okay, all right. Always making the silliest of mistakes here. Ooh, that's too big, which is fine, because I have this bad boy. Ta-da! I just realized I have to somehow fit it in here. That's gonna suck with the socket on. This is actually a lot preferable, actually. This makes things a little bit much more sleek. And then what I have to do is, where's a 12? 12 mil, this is a 12, that's a 10. I literally just had the 12 mil somewhere. Where did it go? See, this is what I'm talking about. I'm literally losing tools in front of you guys. What the freak? That is not a 12. That is a 10. Oh, it's on the gun, that's why. Silly goose. Just gotta crank it just a little bit. Okay. Move the metal shavings away. Throw this thing back down here. Where's the... Okay. Alright. Now that's out of the way. This bad boy. Oh, wow. That was super tight. Holy cow. That was torque to spec right there. Okay. Seals looks still good, so that's good. Okay. This is actually great because then that's less wires that it needs to travel over here. So that's actually probably preferable. Yep, this is way better. Because now, so... the reason why I had to change it is because these are both outlets. So once oil gets in here, it'll push out these top directions. It'll push out from these top directions out. But since there's only one way out, all the oil will go this way, but it'll still fill and pressurize this side, which that's where the temp sensor, it's gonna get its reading. Where's my adjustable? Oh, here's my adjustable. And that's what we want, because down here, it was in the inlet side, which is never gonna get any oil. So it would have been useless. Should have tightened it before I tightened the top side. That's all right. I got a sucker for that. This is actually nice, because then now we can have this actually is probably a better setup actually. Nice and tight. Cool. All right, now next, this is our oil line, which now hypothetically we could probably just use this now, because it needs to realistically go over. Or no, we could just do this. Make it just cut the 90, and then boom. Cool. And actually, what I'm gonna do. Oh, so another thing, you guys probably know that there's a problem here. If you guys know, this oil cooler that I'm bringing out right now, this is the original that came with the kit. But what's the problem? It's still a 10 AN. But I got a solution for that, because my other oil cooler was also a 10 AN. And all I gotta do is just grab its, I just gotta grab its adapters, clean them out, and then we get to use them. Here you go. Here's the adapters on the bottom. I totally forgot to grab it from Red Horse, but it's okay. I knew I had it. Okay. Cool. There's actually no oil. There was actually no oil in this, so that was actually kind of great. I will reuse this cooler. This cooler is still good. It's just got contaminated oil in it, so I just gotta find a way to clean it, because there's no point of wasting a good cooler. I bought this actually secondhand at the time after the crash back at Rockford Speedway. So this cooler's been she's been around. Right, let me just go wash these guys real quick. Now they're freshly cleaned. We could just screw them on. Cool. Screw this on as well. Nice. Next, get my wrench. We just wrench it away. There you go. I was gonna say you're on earlier. Okay, nice and tight. Okay, nice and tight. Now this I am debating on. I think what I'm gonna do is, for now, I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna face the inlet side on the far side, just for now. And like I said, the reason why I wanted to make it a little bit longer than I had originally, because the radiator is gonna get in here, so we don't know where everything's gonna be just yet. And if you're gonna build anything, you always try to build it with some space in mind, because you can always cut and adjust. You can't add on. It's like when people build what was it? When people build do wood stuff, you know? What's the saying? Cut once, measure twice, cut once. Right? That was the saying. Okay, now should be able to just screw this part on with ease. And I made this one, instead of a 90, I made it a 45, just because, so we could actually, because a 90 would be too, it'll work, but to me, it felt like it's a little bit too tight, the angle-wise. So I think I prefer it to be, we have a little bit much more, because we have the space, I want to have it routed a little bit more nicer. Not nicer, what's the word I'm trying to say? More convenient for me when I'm installing and putting it on together. But now, my only issue is actually, come on, oh, there you go. Then could probably measure it like this, or tighten it up like this. I really should tighten up the top one first, then the bottom. My mistake. Keep making the same silly mistakes, because there's all this stuff in the way. Come on, why aren't you latching on? Ugh, do I have to do it from the bottom? That's gonna be annoying. It's annoying doing it from the bottom because of the rack is in the way. Okay. Okay, that's tight. That's tight. All right, now if I could get another line. That's one line. Is there another? Cool. I was gonna say I'm already down here, so if I could get up the other oil line here, just put it in. Then I don't have a wrench with me, but I can wrench it from the bottom, or the top side, I mean. All right, cool. Oil system is now all connected. Nice. Actually, on the block side, not. Okay. All right. Now the easy part is we're gonna do this corner now, and like I said, I'm just gonna go under everything here. This. Oh, I get to plug this back on. Cool. Kind of important. Okay. And then this, we'll just fill in the complete 90. So, like I said, these lines might be slightly overkill, but like I said, I'd rather do over than under. And last thing I need is it's too short and I have to make an extension. So if we don't have to do that, that'd be great. Where is my tool? Don't tell me I left it back down there. I did. On the floor here. Ugh. Hopefully after this build I could graduate from using this wrench. Okay. All right. Now that we have this bad boy here, we're all good. Okay. Now we need to fill this thing with oil, because I remember there's no oil in here. So let's do that. Grab myself a funnel. Where is a funnel? Funnel. Oh, here's the funnel. I mean, brake clean, I mean. All right, and then now, this is the last time I'm gonna put braking oil in this thing. This is for real, like for real this time, not unironically. And I got more just in case because I know this is a completely empty system. All right, now we got 5 quarts in there. I know technically the car is on the ground right now. Oh, it's not really on the ground right now. It's on jack stands on the back, but for now. All right, next we'll check for oil. Make sure we have plenty of oil in this thing. Last thing, like I said, last thing I need is to run this thing even more without any oil in it. Yeah, she's just touching the top. So for sure, I will be putting oil in this thing. Come on now. This dipstick and I are having a major disagreement of where to go. Dude, why are you being so overly complicated? Just get in there. Bro, what is your issue, dude? Here you go. Holy cow. That is so dumb. Okay. I know this is the actual left. This is actually the stuff I had earlier, so I'm actually just going to put more in there. Because like I said, I already know it's going to run dry. Also, technically, the valve covers is actually off of on this side, actually. So, what I'm just do, I might just leave it open so I can see what's going on. All right, guys, moment of truth. We have oil in there. All right, I don't know what gauges I'm using. I don't think that's not this gauge. It is going to be this gauge I'm going to be using, and there should be another gauge. So there's 2. Sorry, hold on, let me grab this one over here. All right, now these 2 gauges are my references because I have both plugged in. So if both of them show, we're good, right? All right, so I know there's oil in there. Okay, oil's checked. All the lines are connected. So I'll pretty much crank it over, and then let's see. Oh, yeah, I think the starter signal wire is missing. Hold on. I know I was kind of messing with the starter area earlier, so possible I unplugged it. Yes, I did. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, there it is. And then that little thing should be somewhere here. Yep, how hard to see. Hold on. Oh, didn't connect it. Hold on. Oh my god, you're being so annoying right now. It's like the terminal is like kind of loose, so I'm trying to. This starter, man, I need to get another one. Hold on. Okay, cool. Now we're connected. Now this thing should crank over. I did have the battery out for a while, so that did not help either. All right, but I don't need much. Just need to crank it over. On. Oh, it won't crank over because of the ground. Oh my god. I'll be right back. Okay, I forgot the ground wasn't connected to the engine ground wasn't connected. All right, now we should get a crank. There you go. Lose battery again. So far nothing. So far. We're not gonna get any pressure from this way. All right, good news. I did check some spots. I popped the filter here, and you guys know this thing was pretty much bone dry, and oil did came out when I unloosed it, and I also unloosed the feed line going into the cooler, and as you guys know, these lines were empty, and the cooler was not really as full as much, but oil did also. I popped it up. Oil did came out. So yes, we are getting oil in it. I think it's just not building enough pressure just yet because it's still kind of running through everything. But yeah, as of right now, the battery is once again dead, and we need to go and get this thing recharged. So that's fine. But I'm very happy that oil is pumping through the system now. So that's a great sign. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then pretty much tomorrow we'll find out if this thing will, like, once we get some actual pressure going, do that, and then start this baby once again. Dude, this is like pretty good. Yeah, I really like the placement. I think that's not even that bad. So that's actually really nice. So yeah, I don't see any major leaks coming from if you guys look down here, there's no leaks down there or anything like that. Look, it's bone dry. So but yeah, I don't think it's just building enough pressure to do that. So all right, let's go get this battery. All right, I got a fresh battery in here now. We got the proper voltages. All right, let's see if we have oil pressure now. I totally forgot to close this, but there was oil coming all over here, so that's good. At least now we're flowing. I'm actually going to check the oil real quick just to make sure we're not running low. Okay, let's try again. Oh! Do you guys see that? Look, it's moving up. It's moving. We got oil pressure. I totally forgot that I didn't tighten down those two oil fittings right there. So that explains why one of them was reading pressure and the other one wasn't. So now, since they were like really loose, but now they're super tight. We should get oil pressure, like proper pressure. There you go. We confirmed that this is moving. So this gauge, why is this gauge not getting any reading? So which one is this one? That's what I want to find out, which is, oh, it's the bottom one. I wonder if it's because it's upside down. No, but I mean, we confirmed that we have oil pressure. So at 10 pounds. Okay, all right. So now that makes sense because I think the high volume oil pump gave me 20. So that makes a lot of sense. Pretty much around 10 pounds. All right, cool. So, I mean, I feel safe to start in my person. Oh, shoot. Oh my God, dude, my oil filter was loose. Oh no. Oh wow, so we still had pressure even. Oh my God, my filter was loose. I was like, what is that glowy stuff I'm seeing? Oh no, dude. Oh, damn. I knew something was off now. Okay, cool. All right, well, wow, found so many loose connections, but still got something. And then try one more time. Cool. Yeah. Okay, cool. Right. That is actually really relieving news. I still don't understand why the other one is not reading, but maybe it's because it's upside down and I actually have to put it up, but I'll deal with that later. So next, what I'm going to do is, since I already have the fuel cell in the back already, I'm just going to grab these lines, trace them all the way down. And then once I confirm that the engine is just fine once we started, then I was like, fix all the fuel system. I know I was going to redo the lines, but right now I just need a peace of mind now at this point where I'm like, okay, the motor is fine. The motor is good. It's going to have oil pressure. It was all because of this whole thing. And then once we do that, I would love to put the radiator in this car and the front end, finally put the front end on this thing, or like the top part. And then from there, we'll start mocking up where the cooler is going to be. I really hope I have a lot of room. And I mean, I could probably put the cooler like on the bottom here for now. I don't know where I'm going to put it, but I'm going to put it somewhere for now. But until then, that's what I want to do next. So yeah, we're just going to do whatever and then go forward from there. So we'll see you guys at the next clip. All right, guys, we have a slight problem. I found out that the fuel lines I had originally for the 240 is too short. If you guys look down here, hold on, might a little be hard to find or a little hard to see, but there's the line down there and it's too short. Wait, hold on. All right, you can see right there, it is too short. Even when I tighten up the line against the chassis, it is nowhere near. So what that means, I have to go back to Red Horse, and then we're gonna have to get all new lines, new fittings, and then thankfully, like, it's not super complicated or anything. So that's great. Also, what I also changed was that I actually put the inlet for the cooling side this way and the outlet this way. So I'm a little irritated that this is a little bit too long and it's causing much more of an issue. I try to take it out and readjust it, and then it's just, this is the best way I could do it without cutting it. And I really don't want to, I'm really honest with you, I'm being a little lazy here. I don't want to cut it. I love how this looks, where the end, like, this looks so much cleaner than how I did it, where it was like sticking out. And also, I truly believe that this is how you're supposed to, because the turbo spins this way, cooling flow goes this way. So I felt bad for my old turbo and this turbocharger, but now the cooling's gonna flow, right? But thankfully she's still good, no problem. But anyways, so for now, this is how it's supposed to kind of look. We'll cut this into length. Originally, I was gonna try to do something going back, but then I don't know, I just didn't like how that might feel. So I thought, you know what, the front side's gonna be relatively empty. So also, I'm really excited to use this part and this part where I can use like the inlet. I don't know where it was this or what was this for originally, but it's a great port to do to put the turbo piping in there. And then obviously there's nothing here on this side. So we're coming together. But yeah, I'm gonna end it here. We're gonna end the episode here now. But I feel very good about this. The car produced oil pressure, like clear way quicker than before, and looks like to me that it was the hose length issue. But what's really weird, and I was editing one of the videos earlier today, is that when it still had the 10 line, it's still, like, if you look at the video, it still produced oil pressure, right? Like a little bit of startup, like it still did like the 10 pounds. But when it started, and this is before it changed to like multiple gauges and stuff, but when you look at it, it stayed, like in parts of the video, it stayed like a little bit under 10 pounds. So that kind of reassures that it was a volume issue. So like it just can't produce as much pressure. So, but yeah, I guarantee you, if I start this car now, if I did, it will produce good oil pressure, like standard oil pressure. I think at cold, it should produce, well, this is break-in oil. Well, this is like what, 1030? So this should produce about almost 60 pounds of pressure, or maybe a little bit higher, or maybe not as high because it's kind of hot right now, but around like 50 pounds of pressure. That's what it should do in cold start, and then it'll level out down to like maybe, I don't know, 20, 10, I think, 15, around there. I actually don't know stock oil pressure for this thing, because all I know is the high volume oil pump one. So I think that one produced like 20, I think 20 pounds of pressure at idle. Well, the car was idling a little bit high too, so that's gonna play a role. But yeah, no. So yeah, we're gonna end it here. I'm very happy with how everything turned out. I feel a lot more confident, like I said. So the next, maybe not the next episode, but eventually, I think the next thing I need to do, as of right now, is redo the whole fuel system. And when I say redo, it's just get proper lines, put everything together, and then put the fuel lab regulator somewhere in the wall. I definitely need to start actually maybe figuring this whole issue. Like, there's so many little things that I could like, you know, it's just like, oh, like getting this done, getting that done. But I mean, we'll find out. So I mean, I have the ECU out. Maybe I could just do quick holes real quick while I'm doing that, so that I might just put all that together. So maybe we could do that. Maybe we could do all that too, put all those together, and then finally close up this little firewall area. This wiring is such a mess, dude. It is so ugly and so messy for no reason. Ugh, my God. I genuinely don't really care about wiring sometimes. Oh, this is a ground. Don't need this ground. But for the first time, I'm like, this is kind of cringy, just seeing all this stuff laid out like this. So yeah, I think I'll try to clean this up a little bit. Maybe like, yeah, make like a central, maybe like a, sorry, I'm just kind of figuring out where I want this to be, kind of like right here as an inlet. But like I said, we'll figure it out on the next video. So until then, signing in.